Hello everyone, this is the Ladies Chat Room and our guest today is Miss Samantha Sookraj. She is the CEO and founder of the South Florida Caribbean Conference. So Samantha, thank you so much for being our guest this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome, baby. I didn't get a chance to read your resume, but I can say that she has experience, it's multifaceted, and she has experience in being an intake case manager, legal assistant, family support worker, quality assurance specialist, and she is or was a director for ABICAB medical transportation. And you've got a lot of expertise in the nonprofit field, right?
That is correct.
Okay, so let's go all in with our guest, Miss Samantha Sookraj. And I want to let our listeners know that, yes, we are on Facebook Live this morning. This is our second week doing this. We're going to be streaming our interviews. And this morning, again, our interviews with Miss Samantha Sookraj, CEO and founder of South Florida Caribbean. Good morning, Yolimar. Good morning. Hey, Lester, what's going on? Hey, Deanne, good morning. Okay, so let's go all in. Samantha, tell us about your work in the nonprofit field and associated agencies.
I go to school for psychology and criminology. Mm-hmm. That's my background.
Mm-hmm. Wait, you know what? I'm sorry, I'm doing this all wrong. We gotta let people know where you're from. You're originally from Guyana.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm from Guyana. I'm from Guyana, the only country that is not considered part of the Caribbean, but we share similar culture. So that's the reason why we're categorized as part of the Caribbean island.
Mm-hmm.
As far as my social service background, I go to school at Renfrew College. That's where I really enhance and get into the nonprofit sector.
Mm-hmm.
I work with people with disabilities, children from age to 5,
mm-hmm.
teenagers who are in the system, mm-hmm. Families. Was an instructor for the American Red Cross, so I'm very versed in the nonprofit sector. I love that field.
But right now you live in South Florida, right?
That is correct. I used to reside in Jersey.
Okay. So how long you lived in Jersey for?
Oh my God, since I moved from New Jersey, but since I moved to Guyana, 93.
Okay, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just moved to Florida in 2009.
Okay, that's not too long ago. Have there been any challenges, pretty much with you being in the nonprofit field? Have there been any challenges, and if so, please share those with our listeners as well as your successes. We want to hear everything. We're all up in there.
In a nonprofit, what a lot of people don't understand is that we're not in this for money.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're looking to go in a field to be rich, this is not the field for you. Mm-hmm. You always deal with budget cuts, constant losing jobs, budget programs, but for me personally, the challenges that I have dealt with over 15 years is going home mm-hmm. and know that there's children out there that who are in serious trouble, or seeing mom get killed due to domestic violence. Mm-hmm. Dealing with those types of emotional turmoil mm-hmm. is very hard. To just turn off the switch, it's very difficult. But you have to learn how to do that in order for you to help someone else the next day.
And this is something that you see a whole lot. And you've been in this field for how long again? I'm sorry?
Over 15 years.
Over 15 years. So this is something that you've seen a lot. And like you said, you have to learn to, get numb to it up to a point. Because if you don't, you gotta learn to save yourself sometimes. You know what I mean? So
you know what I do.
What you do? Let me just say good morning to Lucia. Good morning, Militia. Good morning. Good morning, Evie. Good morning, Wayne. What do you do, Samantha? Tell me.
You know what? When I come home, I don't watch the news. I literally turn turn off the TV. I don't want nothing current because I see that on a daily basis. So that's one way for me to turn off. I don't want to come home and deal with it either, you know. I just need some time for myself.
Okay. See, that's one of the ways. Well, you know what? I kind of see where you're coming from, but for me, the first thing I do is turn the TV on, but I don't normally go to the news immediately, but I do eventually go to the news because I'm a news peon, you know what I'm saying? But I understand that it helps to decompress by not looking at the news. I get that.
Correct.
I get
Correct.
that.
I mean, I watch a lot of foreign films. I like emotional movies. I do things to unwind. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't, you're unable to help the family with feed tomorrow.
True. Very true.
You know, how can you have a clear mind and going in positive and in trying to share a positive energy with a family when, you know, they're struggling, and give them a little hope that they will be better tomorrow. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, you know? So you have to really check yourself before you go in the home.
Okay, that's true. Now, with regards to the mission of the South Florida Caribbean Conference and bringing awareness and education to the American population and West Indians about the Caribbean culture, is that because you guys, you and your team, you are aware that there is a certain amount of fractionalization within the West Indian communities here in the United States? Because it exists.
It does exist. Mm-hmm. And why it exists, that's what we need to get down to. And basically come up with a solution as a community. How can we help bridge that gap? Now, we do have to recognize that each island are unique, but at the same time, we are from the Caribbean. So a lot of people don't understand is that, or I should say that they don't understand, but the importance of number in the United States. When we have numbers, we have power.
So you're saying
we are small Caribbean islands, and yes, so many ways to divide ourselves. Mm-hmm. And
so when you say number is important, I'm guessing that you're referring to the census, which is done every 10 years, right?
Of course, you have the census. Mm-hmm. I take it into the community. If you have, let's take the Caribbean islands, for example. If you look at the Jewish community, they are a very strong community where they support one another, where they contribute to other businesses, where they...
Samantha, do you realize that you are touching a sore topic here? No. Be real. Let me be real. And before we go on, I need to always say good morning to the people that are tuning in on Facebook. We got good morning, Anthony. Or I should say good afternoon, Anthony Duncan. Good afternoon, Joan. Good afternoon, Miss Joan, my mama. Good afternoon, DJ Kevorkian. Now, Samantha, let's bring it back. Because we talk about that. Me and Cole, we have conversations about that off the air every now and then. And as a matter of fact, we talked about that before we came on the show this morning. Because I got my little, things that my little soapboxes and stuff. But I'm giving you the opportunity to share what you've observed.
Well, I mean, for us as a community, we want to create that unity. We want to create that support for our people that we can help them grow. They don't have to abandon or leave their culture to go somewhere else to be successful. At the end of the day, they may be successful, yes. But at what cost? Are we denying our culture? Are we denying who we're from? Are we keep on saying, hey, our people don't support us, so you know what, I'm going to go to a different group, I'll be successful and I'll be coming back, or, everybody has a different reason. But what are we teaching our children?
Sure.
Are we teaching our children in order to be successful in the United States, you cannot do things with the Caribbean people, you need to go out in order to be successful?
I think what they're also teaching, and I'm going all in right now before we move on to the other questions.
Oh boy.
For those of you on Facebook, Behind me is DJ Code Red.
Oh my.
Samantha, you're hearing him saying, oh boy, oh boy.
Oh, yeah.
There's a certain level of racism within the West Indian communities. And that racism exists within, and I'm going to go all in and then I'm going to leave it alone because I don't want to put you on the hot seat because it's not fair to you. But that racism exists between the East Indians and what we consider the black people. And what I'd like my Caribbean people to understand is this. In this country, based on the census, we are all considered black. They don't differentiate between who's East Indian and who from Guyana, who from Trinidad, who's East Indian, who's black. No, we are all, based on the color of our skin, we are all black. So I'm not going to put you on the hot seat at all. I am just going to leave that alone right there. But
No, I mean, my mother is Indian and my father is black. I have not only experienced racism, although it was very prominent in Guyana, but my parents shelter us. So, to come from a perspective that racism back home is completely, outside looks different than in the United States, at the same time it's similar in aspect. In Guyana, for example, it's not only racism, it's about classism.
You got that right, classism and racism.
So the classism comes before race. Like, for example, my father's family was very wealthy. My mother's family was very poor. So although she was Indian and my father's black, the racism comes from my father's side. The discrimination comes from my father's side. So, it's a different factor and every person experiences it differently. For me personally, my parents shelter us very well. And give us the opportunity to have an open mind and experience, the culture and the lifestyle and the importance of, being a child.
Okay. So let me just go back on track with my questions. And thank you for responding to that hot topic because that's what it is. And that's something that I would like the South Florida Caribbean Conference to look at, if not this year, but next year, for y'all to do at least a segment on race relations within the Caribbean culture because one of the things we tend to do is act like if it doesn't exist, but it does exist.
It does.
Checking out your website, I love the fact that you guys are willing to visit topics that are considered taboo. And I'm referring to a similar topic, which is do Caribbean people support each other? And your article on the Dominican Republic and that thing they had, I think was last year where they were kicking out the Haitians, even though those Haitians were born there. And I don't think a lot of people spoke about that. We touched on it every now and then, but I love the fact that you guys were willing to mention topics like that on your website. So tell us your thoughts on the concept of One Caribbean.
As far as FSCC is a platform, so we're going to be addressing topics that may be touchy to others. What we are asking is that everyone keep an open mind. You don't have to agree with everything, but just keep an open mind. We're in the community all the time. I'm also a promoter. One thing that I constantly hear is that you don't get support, your people don't support you. It's constant. I don't know if you have heard that.
I've heard it.
Many times.
And it's true.
And I keep on wondering why they keep on saying that, but why is that? And when you're talking about One Community, Caribbean is the idea that we need to start showing more support. We need to start saying, positive things, and instead of doing things as we need to start doing things we. If you have someone who does sons in in our population, why not go to them and say, hey, can you do my flyer for me? Or if you see a roti shop, go to the roti shop. Why go to a Red Lobster? When you go to a Red Lobster, you don't complain about their price.
True.
But at the same time, you go to the Caribbean store, and if a plate of food is $10, it's too expensive. You know?
You're right.
If a plate of food is $60, they're not complaining.
And another thing they do, and let me just say, good morning, Jody, how are you? Another thing they do is this. If, and you as a promoter, you should know this. Another thing they do is, if a West Indian is hiring, let's say a West Indian band to do some music or a DJ to play some music, and that band or that DJ tell them, okay, well, this is my price. They're going to try to cut them down on the price. But if it was somebody else, they wouldn't be telling them anything. They would say, okay, that's the price. All right, we'll pay it. We have a tendency to not value our own at all. You know what I mean?
You know, that's very fascinating to me. And as far as my social service background, I'm wondering, is it something that we're conditioned? You know, is it something that we're built with, that we have to get discounts?
Thank you, Cole. We have
that I keep on wondering.
We have to get discounts, but we have to get discounts from our own people. But if it's somebody else, they ain't gonna ask for the discount. Cole, you seen that, right?
That's what I don't understand. Is it like only for our people? You know, is it? What is it that you want discount or free?
Code Red wants to jump in and say something. DJ Code Red wants to say something.
So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I provide a service, okay? Just like this young lady, we all provide a service. And when people say, well, can I get a discount on this particular service? I said, of course you can get a discount. Now, for those who don't know, I DJ, do lights, sound system. I've actually showed up, you know, at a venue with headphones, a Walkman, and fresh batteries. And the lady looked at me and goes, where's your equipment? I said, this is my equipment. She said, oh, you have headphones and a Walkman and fresh batteries. I said, yes, you asked for a discount. So based on the discount that you asked for, I gave you the discount. But you cannot ask for a discount or a reduction in pay and still get the same kind of service.
Oh my God, that was a good one too. That's serious though.
I am very serious. She didn't find it hilarious, but I'm like, look, you're taking time away from me and my family. You're taking my time. The equipment I'm providing didn't cost. I didn't get them at a discount when I bought them. They're expensive.
Let me just say good morning. Hello, I keep saying good morning. Sorry, Samantha. I'm just, saying hi to my friends on Facebook.
Absolutely.
Hi, Willow. How you doing, Kevin? That was a really good a lot of information that you gave us this morning during the real estate information talk, the 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Yes, they always want a discount. Hi, Kasai. That's my younger brother. That's so talented. That lives in Hungary. Outstanding musician. Now let's get back to the questions. Samantha, that was a good one. Thanks for appreciating it.
I understand. It's a topic. This is a platform for us to have these conversations. As I said, it's a hot topic. But as long as we keep an open mind and don't take it personal, we can accomplish. We can come up with solutions. You know.
I'm sorry. He's still cracking me up with that. Okay, so tell us about the upcoming Caribbean conference. Tell us about your team and tell us what you have planned for the attendees. And this conference is in November. Tell us about it.
That is correct. It's November 3rd, 4th, and 5th. This is going to be our first year. We are actually hosting our 3-day Caribbean conference in South Florida. Friday, November 3rd, is a Unity Fest. And basically, it's a calling to... well, how should I say this nicely? Socialize all the Caribbean islands. Because remember, Caribbean islands is not only the English, it has the French, and it has the Spanish.
Yes, it does.
So this is a great way to break the ice in a social setting, network, intermingle, getting to know your neighbors, basically, before we start heading into the hot topics on Saturday, November 4th. It's going to be workshops and seminars from 9 to 5 at Broward College. It's going to be 4 sessions going on at the same time. And this year we're focusing on social movement.
Social movement?
That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to be having topics that address where we were, where we are, and where we're going.
Mm-hmm.
And how can we influence where we're going?
Mm-hmm.
What can we do to make those changes?
Mm-hmm.
We're also not only talking about our culture, we're going to talk about health and awareness as well, because it's very, very important within our community to get connected to community resources that can help our people.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about immigration, we talk about diabetes that is very common within the Caribbean, not only the Caribbean,
Mm-hmm.
but the American culture as well.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be focused on health and wellness. We're going to talk about carnival. And my favorite is the music and the music trend, because
Mm-hmm.
music is very important about who we are.
It sure is. It sure is.
So those are some of the topics for
Mm-hmm.
Saturday. Sunday, Sunday
Mm-hmm.
is an outdoor event. It's going to have food vendors. It's going to have face painters prepared. We're going to have information given out to the community about community resources.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to ultimately end it with a live concert. We're going to have live bands, Catholic group. We have a steel cannon section. We have Miami Bollywood dance groups who's going to be coming on.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have live performance from local artists. And we have some artists from New York, New Jersey area coming.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically tons of fun. It's going to be focusing on fun,
Mm-hmm.
socialization,
Mm-hmm.
education,
Mm-hmm.
and awareness.
Okay.
Educate the population about what's going on within the United States and international as well.
So question, what are you all going to do after the conference to keep continuity and to keep awareness in the community?
Well, we're actually going to be getting involved in the community from now throughout the year.
Okay.
What I have been doing is reaching out to different groups in South Florida.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, in South Florida, they have a lot of circles. You have the Guyanese event, you have the Trinidadian event, you have the Jamaican event.
Mm-hmm.
So what I have been doing is reaching out to these promoters who are very influential within the Caribbean population,
Mm-hmm.
and start building a working relationship with them.
Okay. That's a good
So I
approach.
support their events.
The business community
besides
also?
that, absolutely. What
Okay.
I have been doing is reaching out to nonprofit organizations as well,
Okay.
and get involved.
Okay. That sounds good. So this is a nice segue for the next question. How do you see the role of South Florida Caribbean Conference within the Caribbean diaspora?
Oh boy. I think it's a great start.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great start, and it's how we use it, how we use this platform.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just a platform that have a life of its own, you know. You, as you said, you would like to see discrimination be addressed in the next conference. And we're going, there's going to be so much things that people would like to see happen and discuss. So it's going to keep on evolving.
Okay.
We just have to stay positive. And, you know, keep an open heart and don't take things personal. Let's be solution focused.
Code has a question, and let me just say thanks, Desmond. Thanks for listening to the show. It is a great show. The Ladies Chat Room has been on for 3 years. Hi, Christopher. The Ladies Chat Room has been on for 3 years, and we have been bringing information and entertainment to you guys for 3 years. And before we leave at the 2 o'clock hour, I'm going to give a list of who we've had on the show. So, Samantha, Code Red wants to ask a question.
So,
Sure.
Samantha, so what challenges have you experienced or encountered bringing this forum, you know, to the masses?
You know, some of the challenges I have encountered, it was not many, because I started it since last November, And what I did is I created a whole policies, procedures, like a company. And before I actually launch or introduce this to the public, I have created one-on-one meetings, discuss my plan, discuss my agenda.
Okay.
The problem that I have, I shouldn't say problem, the challenges that I have is that I need to stay focused because as I'm introducing this program to someone else, they're so excited and they give you like a whole different avenue that you can incorporate with your program. And you see, oh my God, this is a great idea. But at the same time, you have to step back and say, hey, that can be table for next year.
Okay.
I need to start small. I need to start focus on what I have, incorporate ideas, but ideas that I cannot incorporate and may not be this year, but tables for next year.
Okay.
Another challenge is that I have is when you go to different groups, other groups doesn't like working with the other groups.
I ain't nothing new, but you gotta be persistent.
How I combat that is I focus on what I stay positive. I'm working with everybody. I do not belong to any circle. I support the mission. I'm here for a reason. I'm here to work together. Now, if I pick and choose which group I'm going to be working with, I'm going to be going against what I'm trying to accomplish.
True, that's very true.
So I stay neutral, and at the end of the day, I have 99.9% who I have gone to come aboard and willing to support because they believe in the cause.
And that's all that matters.
I am very humble.
That's all that matters.
And thankful for their support.
I got one more question to ask you. And I mean, I know when you read your questions, you probably thought, is she for real? Yeah, I am for real. I was reading your resume and I'm like, I know you're a certified breastfeeding instructor. Okay. So this was the question that came to mind. I didn't know you had to tell women how to breastfeed. I'm simply thinking, okay, you take the breast and you put it in the baby's mouth and the baby starts to automatically suck on the breast.
You know what happened is the problem.
I'm just being real. Okay, we're listening.
It's the latching.
The what?
The latching is the problem. Sometimes the baby's not latched on properly.
Oh, okay.
Or sometimes they're engorged and they're hurt. The breast is hurting. So we have to find a way to massage it. So remember, breastfeeding is not easy. For those mothers out there,
let me tell you,
breastfeeding is very important.
I have 3 sons. They're all in their 20s now, and I have never breastfed. It's always been the buckle. Always the buckle. So I have a clue. You know what I'm saying?
Well, helping start, they actually have a movement.
Yeah.
And they're actually pushing the forward for breastfeeding and also breastfeeding in public. Because breastfeeding a child in public you shouldn't be ashamed to breastfeed.
No, you shouldn't be. Come on, we all came from a mama, right? So I mean, people need to stop tripping and just get real.
Listen, but call me about it, just pick up the boobs and
The child hungry, feed the child. So what's next for Samantha Sookraj?
Well, we'll actually continue. Every month we have a newsletter and video blog. We have a team in New Jersey, Malika Singh, who is our person who does the video blogs. She does a phenomenal job, by the way. And it's coming up with interesting topics. And I think this May we are focusing on the food, which a lot of us love. And then Sherry, she does the newsletter articles. So we're going to be constant doing things within the community that you just keep updated with the website to get information, the newsletter. The next one I think is in Guyana State in West Palm. We're going to actually be there with Harry Bassoon.
Okay.
And we keep on going.
Okay. You know what? We're about to get out of here. I love the fact that we had you on this morning. As I say to all my guests, once a guest, always a guest. So please feel free to drop by at any time. We're going to try and see if we could bring you on closer to the conference in November, so we could just bring that up a little bit again, so that we could keep it alive, or I should say, constant in people's minds. But all the best to you, Miss Samantha Sookraj, and please do stay in touch. Okay?
Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you having us to share this information.
Well, Michelle Allman, who is from Caribbean Under One magazine, she was the one that shared your information, and I'm going to be getting a lot of people from that she featured on Women of Culture website. And you're our first. Phenomenal. You're our first. I really appreciate you being on here. Okay.
Well, thank you so much for having us.
You're welcome, sweetie. You have a blessed weekend, and we will talk to you soon, okay?
Absolutely. You guys have a great day.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest for today is Miss Samantha Sookraj, and she is the CEO and founder of South Florida Caribbean Conference, and that conference is going to be in November 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So that's something that would be nice if you all can put on your calendar. It's going to be at Broward Community College. I believe that's where it's going to be. Good morning, Desmond. Thank you. I know you have an event in Orlando on the 26th. What do I have to do for you to talk about? Well, we just did, didn't we? So we'll talk about it next week, Saturday, again on the ladies' chat room. Good morning, Miss Miriam Dyer. You know, I could never pronounce your first name. Fikirte. So let me give you a quick rundown before we go into a music break of who we've had on the show. This show started March of 2014, so it's been 3 years. Otto Golden, Blacks, Boldface Production, Melvin Guzman, Vianne Floyd, iTunes Radio, DJ Victorious, Ian the Goose Elgore, Carl Jacobs, Mr. David Rudder. We've had Ras Commander, hey, Hot Lion, yes. We've had Casey Phillips of Precision Production. We had NCC, which is the National Carnival Commission out of Trinidad and Tobago, with Miss Lorraine Pouchette. Jelani Hunt, who is the manager of Voice, Teddyson John, and I'm missing somebody, DJ Steven. Earl Hernandez, Theo Jacks, who is the president of Jacksonville Carnival. Mr. Leon Caldero. Leon, okay, we're going to use that one. But Leon, you are a diva, sweetheart. All the best. And he's doing his Curry Fest. When is the Curry Fest?
July 15th.
July 15th. Hi, Hyacinth. Hi, Summer. Okay, so let me see. My nephew, who is an attorney, Sean Sobers out of Trinidad and Tobago, and also his friend, Mr. Gideon McMaster, they were also guests. Leon Foster Thomas, a panelist out of South Florida. Awesome job on the pan, and also his album was considered for the Grammy picks this year. So we got to get ready to get out of here. I'm going to make room for Code Red to do his thing. In the meantime, in between time, remember in 2 weeks is Orlando Carnival. And we're going to have Mr. Marshall Montano here. Marshall Montano. Good morning, my sister. Joan is looking. Hey, Joan. We're going to have Marshall Montano on the 27th. I'm right with the dates, right? Code 27th. The monk is going to be here. And that's at where? Sookraj Jungle. Rum Jungle, and that's on International Drive. Yeah. Orlando Carnival is May 28th. Sunday, May 28th. It is free. And I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Y'all didn't know this, but iTunes Entertainment and Urban Roots is who is behind the scenes making this happen financially, because money talks and everything else works. So I'm putting it out there. So enough respect to the team, iTunes Radio. I love being part of that team. Enough respect to DJ Code Red, who I'm going to shut up and let him do his thing. Goodbye. See y'all next week Saturday right here on the ladies chat room. So Facebook's still going in now. So do you think, man? Hey, coach, so now I'm telling them to buy now because I'm going to end this the tape.